Hi guys, it's Kai and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a wig tutorial. I had gotten some requests to do a sort of 80s inspired style. Well, actually lots of you guys, when you send in your requests for tutorials, some of you guys send in pictures of wigs that you want me to recreate. Sometimes the picture is a little bit too similar to stuff I've already done in tutorials. Sometimes it's a little bit too out there that I wouldn't even know where to start. I see the requests as seeds and starting points to my videos, and then I fertilize it and cultivate it with my own ideas and my own skills. I was shuffling through my mental file cabinet of ideas and cross-referencing that with my wig cabinet of stuff that I could work with. So this is what I came up with. It is a synthetic wig. It's one wig. Huge, I know. I used a bunch of different techniques that you've probably already seen on my channel. You know, the crimped hair method, sewing hair into a wig, the teasing, the sweeping it to the one side. So it's a little bit of a mix match of different methods and techniques that you can combine to get this look. We're gonna jump right into it today, so if you want to see how this is done, then just keep watching. This is one of the oldest wigs in my collection. I reached for it today only because it was one of the only clean wigs that I had. Also, I wanted something neon because I had this idea to do this 80s look with the crimped hair that I showed you guys a couple of tutorials ago. While I was digging through my wig drawer, I found some old extensions that I ordered so long ago and never used. They're basically just little wefts of hair attached to a clip that looks like this. So you kind of clip it in your head and then it snaps shut like that. And then you got an extension. I want to add some of these yellow ones into the wig so it's pink and yellow, but don't love the whole clip part of it. I think I'm gonna cut the clip off and just sew it on because this is just wefting right here. I'll probably rip the clip out with a seam ripper. So see how it's attached by just a couple of threads? I'll just rip those threads out. Alright. So when you rip those out, you'll realize that all this is a short weft of hair. So the idea is by taking out the clip, it removes the bulkiness of this, and just sewing it on will keep it as flat as I can to the head. So I'm gonna sew these into the wig now. The only place I can't sew the yellow hair onto is the hairline right here because it would just be way too obvious. So I'm just gonna go right behind the hairline, even if it's on the lace. So I'm gonna section off the first inch of hair. I'll put our first piece about right here. And to sew it, I am gonna use a curved needle with some black thread. If you watch some of my human hair videos, I explained this whole process of sewing wefts into a wig very well, especially in the video where I make a wig. So you can reference those if you want some sewing tips, but I'm just using a good old blanket stitch, leaving the stitches quite close together because it's not a lot of hair that I'm sewing on. I want it quite secure. Normally, I would never say that it's okay to sew into the lace because it pretty much ruins the lace front. But this is a synthetic wig. The lace is harder, it's cheaper. And I know that the way I'm styling this, the hair is all gonna be up and out of the face, meaning I'm not relying on a deep part in the lace. I'm not intending to show much of the lace at all because the hair is just gonna be teased very strongly. Couple loops around the end of the needle. Place my pinky there and then pull the needle through to finish it off. And let me just check that if I push the hair back, you're not gonna see the black thread. And yeah, you don't really see it at all, huh? Then I'm gonna put the next one about here. I don't have that many of these yellow wefts, so I want to focus lots of them near the front where they're gonna be the most visible. If you don't know where you can buy synthetic hair extensions or hair pieces like this, you can cut up an old wig. In many cases, that's probably a cheaper option anyway, and it will leave you with more hair and you won't have to deal with that little clip. But if you're interested in where I got mine off a website called wigisfashion.com, which is probably where I also got this wig. So I'm just gonna keep going sewing these extensions into the hair. Alright guys, so I fast forwarded a bit and just added the streaks of yellow to the entire wig. So I added them all throughout, and now this is what she looks like. So I just kept going back row by row and adding like 2 or 3 or 4 streaks. I really concentrated lots of them up front and at the top, but there are still some of them down at the bottom. Now we're going to get to the styling of this hair, and I'm going to use a technique that I've shown you guys before on this channel to get the look of crimped hair. So in the video that I did on crimped hair, I took quite small sections, but this time around I'm going to take a section that's quite a bit bigger. So about that big. Then I'm splitting it into 3, and then you're just going to braid it. I've shown you guys before that you can dip this wig in boiling hot water to set the braids, but since you already know that you can use that method, I'm just going to use a steamer. I'm going to take each braid and I'm just going to clip them up to the top of the head because I'm going to put this all underneath a plastic bag. So you can sort of roll it up and just clip it in. So all I'm doing is just trying to get them all flat on the head so that they're all closer together and so that the heat will just be more concentrated on them. Alright, that's been about 2-3 minutes. So I'm just going to let this dry. You can wait overnight. You can use a blow dryer in the bag to speed the process up. But once it's dry, you can take out the braids and we're going to style it. Alright, I reckon the wig is dry now, so let's take out the braids and see how it looks. So you can see it's got that nice curl pattern, but it's not the super tight curls that we've seen before. So it's pretty much exactly what I was looking for. It's still got that very voluminous crimped texture, but the curls are a little bit more evident in this, not super small. Alright, so I've taken down all the braids, so this is what the curl pattern is looking like. My idea is to do a side swept look, so I'm going to take most of this hair on this side and pull it back, and then get this hair up here teased and fall over to the side. So I'm going to start that off by parting it where I want it to go. And if you have a wig block like this, it's very helpful because I always just follow this line right here. That tends to give me a good place to part. So I'm going to take this hair and maybe I'll create a triangle. So going down, separate this. All right. And so this hair I'm going to pull back. Before I do that, I'm just going to tease it very lightly, just so that the hair has a little bit of grit and resistance, so that when I pull it back, it will help it stay in its place a little bit better. So just teasing it very lightly. I'll brush out the surface right here, this little white spot. I'm trying to get it out. Right, and then I'm gonna place some bobby pins right here to hold it in place. So let me put a little clip there first to hold it in place. I'm taking the bumpy side of the bobby pin, and that has to be the side that's facing the wig block, not facing up. And I'm gonna crisscross them in a line going up, like this. So you can sort of start to see the style coming together now that this is clipped back. Now I want to tease all of this hair over here. Starting in the very beginning at the front, it's a very good place to start. I'm just gonna lightly backcomb the base. Notice that the side of the hair that I'm teasing on is the side that it's gonna fall on, so that the surface, which is over here, is nice and smooth. So I'm sort of going in these vertical sections like this. Like this is the front of the head, and I want the hair all to fall on that side. So I'm teasing that side of the hair, and I'm going from left to right. Now what do we do about this side where the hair is pulled back? I'm just going to tease a little bit over here on this side of the head, but I'm probably not going to tease all of this hair under here because I do want this side of my head to be flat after all. So I'll just tease quite lightly. Alright, I think I'm good with the teasing, so let's try to sculpt this into shape and see what we've got, and see if there are still parts that need to be teased a little bit more. I'm seeing lots of the volume over here where instead I want it to be up here, right? So I'm gonna take some hairspray, spray the top of that, and get my blow dryer, and then brush just up. I'm realizing I don't want it all swept to the one side. I want this part back here to sort of come out on this side like that. I think that would look really pretty. I want to fix this bang a bit more because I can see it's sort of flopping down like that. This is a little flexi rod. I've used this in some hair tutorials. You can use a clip or some sort of ribbon, but I'm gonna lay it here along this bang to sort of mold the hair into place where I want it. I can pin into it with some long pearl head pins. The idea is to force the bang into the shape that I want. You can use alligator clips for this, but sometimes I've just found that those leave too much of an imprint. And so I've been experimenting with other methods of keeping the bang back. All this yellow is looking quite messy in the back. I'm gonna kind of brush it together a bit more. Some of the yellow extensions were longer than the pink, so in those cases I'm gonna give it a bit of a haircut. All right, and then lastly, let me take this piece out, and you can see that bang has that nice shape to it. Alright, you guys, I think that's it for this tutorial. Let me just go put on some makeup and let's see the finished look. And we're back! This is how the wig looks on my head. I always find it looks bigger on my head than on the mannequin. Probably because I'm just so petite and dainty. Anyway, I hope you guys still enjoyed this video and that you learned something cool. If you get the chance to try this out, please tag me on Instagram because I would love to see what you guys do with this. Speaking of which, here's some people who've tagged me in their recreations of my tutorials. I also want to give a special shout out to this user, Fakemon, for this illustration of me as a Pokemon trainer in my rhinestone cowboy look. I'm in love with this picture. If I was a Pokemon trainer, I would certainly be psychic type. Psychic or fire are my two favorite types, though this hair is giving me very electric type gym leader. Anyway, thanks for this drawing. I love it, and thanks to everyone else who is tagging me in their work. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave me your thoughts down in the comments. And if you want to see the makeup tutorial for this makeup, that's going to go up right after this one, so you can watch that. Let me know down in the comments what other videos you guys want to see, but until I see you guys next time, I hope you're all doing well. Bye!